I'm Jason, one of the instructors at Krav Maga Self-Defense. Just thinking the other day, the topic of avoidance. Avoidance being the first layer of the whole picture of your defense, right? So being the outermost layer or the first step, if you will. What's the best defense is quoting, I'm showing my age here, but quoting Mr. Miyagi with the original Karate Kid, right? Daniel-san, best defense is not be there. So in the self-defense context, if you're outside of the danger zone, the area where you're exposed to dangers, or then you've avoided being in that situation as well, of being in danger or being victimized, uh, then yeah, you've done your job. You have, that's the best scenario you could ever ask for. So I have a few examples of this and some funny stories as well, which I can consider as avoidance. And I think it's the best. We probably do it a lot, and it's a good practice for self-defense. So one of the most obvious reasons, if you know there's a certain area that has a reputation of being a dangerous area, a lot of people are being victimized there, there's a lot of badness that happens, all those things, then you don't go to that area. Or if an area is known, those things are known to have those things happen at certain times, then you avoid those times if you absolutely have to go through that area. So classic. Um, Back when I was in Adelaide for my one part of my instructor's course, of course, we flew over there and had all the training sessions throughout the course. And one evening, I had to walk to Woolies just to get some extra supplies. And as I'm walking back to the accommodation, I see this group. Can't. It was far enough. It was good that from a distance, I've already identified there's a group in the footpath ahead of me, maybe a block and a half away from me. They seemed to be all male, a bit rowdy. I couldn't really distinguish what they looked like, but I didn't want to take a chance. So some people might be close minded enough to just meekly still try to go through their path. And what did I do? Luckily, I had the presence of mind to go, I don't really want to see what happens. So, simple solution, I crossed the street. I crossed the street and still went the same direction, but being from the other side of the street, away from them. And yeah, maybe nothing would have happened if I passed through, or maybe something did, but it was for sure way better chances that if, since I crossed the street, I've created distance between me and them, and also might not have reduced the chances of them noticing me. So that's a classic avoidance right there, avoidance example. Uh, there's another one recently because of I've bought a mate's e-bike. I've been e-biking to work and also using the metro sometimes. So e-bike, metro, e-bike, etc. And just to minimize me driving and relying on petrol. So on one of the stations on my way home, I'm there on the concourse. Of course, you don't ride on the concourse. You just push the bike through, and I'm there waiting for the lift to take me up to street level. And the best way to describe it is this very odd person comes in, maybe a meter and a half, 2 meters in front of me, also waiting for the lift. But he had this weird veil on him with net net like some sort of netting material for the holes for his eyes, and he had some sort of mask that's lifted up, and it's really bright colors. I don't know if it's some sort of cosplay or what, but I could not see his face, and he was probably listening to his music. I could see some cables from a sort of device that's probably earphones, and he's mumbling, probably mumbling to whatever music. He was, yeah, something like that. Sounded something like that. It really took me off balance. I'm like, who is this guy? What's he doing? What's happening here? A little bit of that. Um, a little bit of that freeze on my end, on my OODA loop, because it's my first time for me to see something like that. And I'm just there watching him. And of course, questions come into my head. What do I do now? Do I consider him hostile? What do I do? But I just said, okay, I don't think it's met my personal threshold where I should do something drastic. I'll keep observing him and I'll just keep watching him. When the lift came in, I found this interesting too. Him and this other person were courteous enough to both turn their heads and look at me and probably acknowledge that I was there first lining up and they wanted me to go ahead into the lift before them. And I just decided to say, that's all right, guys, you go ahead, I'll take the next one. And they shrugged their shoulders, they went in. The guy went to the edge, waited for and just probably looked in my direction as the doors closed and went up. So I feel like that's a classic avoidance right there. I'm definitely judging by the cover of the book, right? Judging a book by its cover. But hey, it's my self defense, it's my safety, concept of safety. I found it at the very least odd, but I didn't want to risk it. So, and what's the delay? Just a few minutes, a handful of minutes. I'm on my way home anyway. I didn't have a tight schedule. So I'm like, okay, you guys go ahead. I'll take the next one. No problem. Even if you analyze it in different perspectives, even if there's a massive disparity, if we assume there's a massive disparity of skills, he has a backpack, by the way, so there's another factor there that he may have some weapons in there. I don't know, but even if there's a massive disparity of skills, why would I foolishly still go into an enclosed area like a lift um, with someone like that? So classic avoidance, and it was successful. I went on my merry way. When I went up to the street level, I looked around. I didn't see him around. He probably went off and gone home or wherever he's going. So all well and good. Rode back home. Sweet. Yeah, all good. Another example, which is quite funny in a dark humor way. I just won't reveal the source, but so there was a police response operation, crowd control based operation. There were some people protesting and were trying to take the streets, trying to occupy the streets to create disruption for their cause. And of course, we won't get into all the politics or whatever, but the police were there forming lines, pushing them back, right? This, he's mature aged, a bit short in stature, Asian appearance male, um, walked through the crowd, came up on the police line, and he got pushed 3 times. 3 times he got pushed. So he walks up to one police, pushes him back, because of course there's a line there. They were pushing the group back, right? He gets pushed back, he gets up, he walks through on a different angle. Second police pushes him back. He gets up, tries another angle, and a third police pushes him back until somehow he gets to talk to some other police and say, hey, I live there. I just want to go home. And in the end, police said, okay, we'll let you through. We'll get you through here. So, in a dark humor sort of perspective, it was very funny because he got pushed 3 times, one after the other. But this is where we see common sense. avoidance and common sense, right? If I was that guy, I'm walking home, I see this massive disturbance right in front of me, police lines there, pushing the crowd. I am not going to go, well, I'm not part of that group, but I'll still walk through because I just want to get home. Uh, wh- does he think he's going to be like some computer game where he's an NPC and he'll just waltz through? And how would police be able to read his mind and know that he's not part of that group when he stands in front of them and tries to walk through them? So, common sense here, right? If I was that guy, I'd be like, you know what? There's a lot happening there. There's a lot of police there. I don't want to get involved in that. I will walk around the block. I will walk around the block to get home. And it's not much. It's not much to do. It's not much of a distance. But he still decided to do that. So, um, concept there is, of course, avoidance. I see that situation right in front of me. It's not subtle either. That's a big, there's a crowd there. You see all the police vehicle lights. You know there's something going on. There's a commotion there. I will avoid it. I will walk around the block, right? Um, yeah. So, and to act, I still can't comprehend how he thought he could just go through because he was going home. So, just to summarize it up, first layer of your self defense, avoidance. It's the best thing that you can do. A lot of us probably do it and we just don't realize it. But if you think deeper into it, we are doing very good self defense by avoiding putting ourselves into these situations in the first place. If we do that, then we're safe. Secondly, part of that, to supplement that, is a bit of common sense too, right? Like, I guess you would have some common sense if you are avoiding these getting into these situations or putting yourself in a place where the potential to get into these situations are higher than usual. So um, yeah, just some thoughts on that and avoidance. To learn more KMG self defense techniques, train with us at Krav Maga selfdefense.com.au.